Hi all, welcome to Bhavyas Arts. Today we are going to do watercolor painting, underwater, seascape. Okay, so I hope everyone are ready with the materials which we have already shared in our class group. So kindly take your all materials and on the screen you can see the reference image. This is today's reference image. So whoever joined the class, kindly type your name from which place you are. Okay. And if you are already my student, you can type your name and from which batch you belong to. Okay. So before starting painting, we'll see the materials which we are going to use for today's artwork. For a while, I keep this side. In the material list, we'll start with paper. This is 300 GSM paper, 300 GSM cold pressed paper, which I am using for watercolor painting. And when you touch the paper, the rough surface should be used for the painting. Okay. And I have stick this paper in vertical direction. So this is the vertical direction and this is called horizontal. So in the vertical direction, I have sticked this paper on all four sides with masking tape. If you don't have masking tape, you can use any type of tape. Okay. But while removing, you should be very careful. You need to remove it very slowly. Hi, Dhriti. Okay. This is about paper and sellotape. Brushes. These are mop brushes. Mop brushes is different from round brush. Mop brush will have more hair part. This is head. We call it as head. Okay. This is the neck part. Okay. So this will be more. So the retention of water will be more. In watercolor painting, we'll use more water, right? So it will retain more water. These are brushes. This is brush number 8, mop brush. This is brush number 4. This is brush number 0. So if you have this type of round brushes, you can use this also. Any brushes you can use. This round brushes, same numbers, brush number 8, brush number 6, brush number 0, 0 and brush number 1. Okay, if you don't have more brushes, use normal round brushes. So whatever brush you have, use. Not it wrong. For so watercolor cakes. So these are watercolor cakes which I am going to use. If you have watercolor tubes, you can use watercolor tubes also. These are watercolor cakes which I am going to use for today's artwork. Okay. If you have watercolor tubes, you can use watercolor tubes. This is color mixing plate. Color mixing plate is needed. If you don't have this type of color mixing plate, you can use any type of steel plate or plastic plate, any plate you can use for color mixing. And we need tissue paper, so cloth. I'm going to take tissue paper Okay. So I'll fold like this. 4 foldings you need to do. If you are using cloth also, make sure you fold in 4 folds. Okay, this is tissue paper. Mhm. For drawing purpose, you can use normal pencil, normal HB pencil, 2B pencil you can use. And you need to sharp with this type of sharpener. This is short head sharpener, normal sharpener. You can use this one. And for erasing purpose, you can use any type of erasers. In this normal eraser you can use. No need of molded eraser. Okay. For drawing, we'll be using this material. If you have this type of pencil, you can use this type of pencil also. Okay. Water. So this is watercolor painting. So we will be using more water. So you need to take water in small cup. Okay. In 2 parts. 2 water in 2 cups. You need to take water. 1 cup is used to wipe the brush which we use for darker values. 1 cup is used for to wipe the brushes which we use for lighter values. Okay. So these are about materials which we are going to use for today's artwork. Understood? So kindly type yes if you understood. Yes in the chat. This is a more interactive session. So if you have any questions about the session, about today's session, watercolor painting session, you can ask. Okay. So today's topic is underwater painting. Underwater marine life. Okay. Completed. Yes. Okay. Okay. So while painting while painting, I'll tell the what are the materials which we are going to use. Okay, not a problem. No need to repeat it again. We can start the class now. Okay. So if you have joined late, then wait, follow the steps and do. Okay. Now, everyone stick the paper, 300 GSM paper, to your plank. Plank in the sense drawing board. Okay. Then, now we'll start the drawing. Step by step we'll do. So while drawing, you need to observe. Don't draw. While I'm drawing, you need to observe the screen. Okay. You should not draw. When I said to you to draw, at that time, draw. Okay. Then only you won't miss any steps. On my paper, I'll be drawing very dark. On your paper, you need to draw very light. It should be visible to your eyes. Okay. So don't draw it dark on your paper. Okay. So once drawing is finished, what I'll do, I'll erase all the drawing and then I'll paint. So make sure you are going to draw it very lightly. Very lightly. Okay. Now we'll start drawing. So from the top, there are the highlight values. So in the water, there is the sun's reflection, sunlight's reflection. Okay. Always, if you can observe the water, whenever the sunlight reflection is there, there forms highlights in different shapes. Okay. So again, I'm repeating, don't draw it dark. I'm doing it dark. On your papers, it should be very light. different shapes you can make like this. So inside these shapes, we don't color actually. We'll keep it white only. Around the shapes, we will be coloring. Okay. Okay. If you can do the freehand shapes, you can make it freehand in the sense like this, in a dotted way. I am doing a controlled drawing where I'm using pressure and I'm moving my pencil very slow. Draw this one. Everyone should draw. If you have finished in the chat, you can type completed. Okay. After that, we will move to the next step. Right? So again, I'm repeating, draw it very lightly. It should be, the line should be visible to your eyes only. Okay. I'm drawing it dark so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Completed? Then type yes in the chat. So these are the highlights which is forming on the top of the sea. Okay. Why these are forming? Because of the sunlight. What light will do? Light will travel and it touches the object which is there on the earth. Okay. In that case, it is also touching the sea top. Okay. In the ocean or sea, we can see the waves. Light waves will be there. It won't be still, right? It will be having some waves. Because of the waves, because of the light, okay, we can see this type of formations. Okay, it is not same like this. It will be different. Okay. Now, so now we'll move to the animal part, tortoise part. Okay. So just draw one arc. Draw arc and a curve. Make a curve. Make a curve. Okay. Now from down you need to draw one more curve and join, making it little dark. Okay. Now draw slant line, downward slant line. Again, draw one more curve, join lines. This is the top shell of the tortoise. Top part of the shell is the tortoise. Completed. Okay. Completed. Type yes in the chat. Okay. Do it. Okay. Now, see here. From here, you need to draw the head part of the tortoise. So just draw one curve. So always remember, when you are drawing, you should not immediately jump into the shape of the object. You need to wait by doing with the geometrical shapes only. Okay. Should not completely jump into the object forms. Don't do that. Okay. Right. Okay. Completed. Now the bottom part of the tortoise. Bottom part of the tortoise and the hands. First, we will draw like this. Afterwards, we can give the fin shape. Okay. Completed. Now here. See, if you put the line like this, you should stand in horizontal direction. Okay, the distance and back side. So draw it, everyone. Completed. Do it. Okay. Now for the eye part, you need to draw the curve like this around it. There will be a grayish layer around the eyes. Okay. So it will look almost like circle. Okay. So see, it won't like in the water, we can't see the definite shape, okay, of the marine creature. Okay. So around the eyes, there will be some grayish color uh, cavity will be there. Okay. Whenever any danger happens, it will close its eyes and it will look like a white shield is covering its inside the eye pupils. Okay. So these are the I'm making uneven structure which shows the design on the tortoise. And on the shell, you can make the design with. So inside these lines, we are not going to paint. It will be white only. See, in watercolor painting, you need to make sure you are leaving the white spaces. White spaces are very important. If not, while using the water, what it happens, it will spread completely throughout the paper if we don't make marks. Okay. So marking is very important when you are using working with the watercolors. This. Okay. On the top of the shelf, if you can see, there will be some designs like this. In between this part, we don't paint. It will be white only. Okay. Very easy one. Only the thing you need patience to draw. Don't stick on the final output. Okay. Don't stick on the final output. First draw. Try. Final output it will come if you draw properly. Okay. First you need to try. See for the tortoise what happens its mouth. The starting point of the mouth will be little sharp. Okay. It will close like this. So it close like this. So this part make sure it should be little sharp. It should not be bold. Okay. And here you can give one nose. So make it dark. Okay. So while painting, you won't miss out that. This one where we start. So in watercolor paintings, what we will do, we are not going to concentrate on the as it is thing. Okay. We will be concentrating on the impression thing. So whatever we see, that memory will be there in our mind. Okay. We don't remember completely as it is picture. We don't remember as human brains. It's very rare that we'll remember the complete picture as it is, right? So we will connect the dots. We will connect the points and we'll remember. That is our human brain's work. Okay, whatever we see. So we have saw this tortoise. Okay. So how watercolor painter like artist them how they will do means they will draw outlines. Okay, with quick lines, and then they will paint to get the impression to show the viewer that the tortoise is there on the paper. Okay, that impression we will get. Not like photogenic or realistic work. It won't happen in the watercolor painting. Okay. Because this will here we don't depend upon the color pigment. We will depend upon the water only. Water will be moving on the water. You need to control the pigment as well water. Okay. So drawing this is the drawing. Now what we will do? We'll changes. We'll do little changes. So this is the back side of the fin and it is having sharpness with this. Okay. With this. I just give some shapes. Inside the shapes only we will paint. Okay, rest of the things we don't paint, it will be white. So you need to leave white thin lines. The shape should be like this. So down part of the tortoise will the shell will be down part of the shell will be little softer part. So there you can see the smart designs. Yes. Okay. So do it everyone. Completed. Okay. On the shell, there will be different types of designs. It doesn't mean that this design only, it is there in our class group. You can check it out. Okay. We are given only rough lines because when it is inside the water, inside the sea, you can't see that finer details. Okay. Finer design and all. Okay. In whole we'll see. But when it come out of the sea, what happens? You can see the details, finer values on the tortoise shell. Even when these are the leg part, okay, these leg parts will be very strong for the tortoise because it will use legs for swimming as well walking on the land. Okay. So when it is on the land, when you are showing same tortoise which is on the land, at that time you need to show its paw, paw-like structure, nails and all you can see it will be visible. But when it is swimming, that nail structure won't be visible. They will stay somewhere inside the leg part. Okay. Completed. Completed. So some interesting facts about the tortoise are these are older animals which stayed or which existed for over 230 million years. Okay. And its age around it will live around 100 years to 200 years it can live on the earth. if it is a giant tortoise, big tortoise, then its age around 190 years to 230 like that. Okay. Completed. Mostly tortoise are all herbivores. Okay, they'll depend upon plant-based food. Okay, so they can walk. They can walk and they can swim. Both they can walk on the land and they can swim in the water also. They'll stay in salty water like oceans. They can stay in the clear waters, ponds also. So, how you will identify whether the tortoise is from salty water base or clear water base? By identifying the shapes on the shell. The shell will say the tortoise is from where it is. Okay. So completed. Now we will draw the corals inside the water and hill-like structure. So just draw one curvy line. As I said, we will capture only the impression. Okay. Complete details we don't do. Impressions we'll make. And the color values. Okay. So this is the hill-like structure first. Okay. And corals. So from here, I'll make one root like this. Okay. Now we'll start drawing the coral part. First, you need to draw small pentacle-like structures. Like this. Okay. Here. The corals we will get in different shapes and different sizes and also in the different form, colors. Okay. Do it slowly, okay? So if you move your pencil very fast, you might miss two of the things. So make it slow. Coral shapes formation is very important because when we directly use the color, we might miss the coral formation colors. Okay. So because you need to draw it properly, then only you can paint it properly. This side also. Here and all the hills will be there. So that color difference we need to show with this. Wait. Completed? So completed means type yes in the chat so that we can move for coloring part. So I'll also reduce this graphite sketch so that I can also do the coloring. Okay. So now what I'm doing, I'm just rolling the molded eraser so that I can take this hard pencil markings properly. When we are painting, okay, what happens, this color will go and mix up with the black graphite, then the consistency will differ. So that only before painting, what we'll do, we'll take out the color properly, graphite powder properly. Should become like this, very light. So if we use eraser instead of this molded eraser, what happens is the normal eraser will give the dust. Okay. Even though we remove the dust, few minute particles will be there on the paper that will will also disturb the painting process. Okay. Mhm. So it should become like this light. Okay. Now take color mixing plate and I'll use brush number 4, water. So I'm using first I'll use blue color. This is the blue. I'll put more water in this. And also a little bit of green. I'll mix both the colors. Okay. After mixing the colors, like this, you need to mix. After mixing the colors, you need to keep the color plate aside and wipe the brush properly. Okay. Now, first we will add the water. First, we'll add the clear water. How to add? Observe the screen. So, water application is very important. Inside these shapes, we don't apply any water. Okay. Around the shapes only, we'll apply the water so that we can preserve the white spaces. Unlike the other mediums will have chance to paint with white. Okay, in watercolor painting, if you paint with white, it won't stay. Will get mixed up with the other colors. Okay. Like this. Water should be more and it should not go inside the shapes. You need to be very careful. I'm applying clear water. Don't apply water on the tortoise. Okay. Around tortoise, you need to apply water. First take water and then apply as shown here. Use brush number 6 or brush number 4. Okay. Any brush you can use. Brush number 6, brush number 4, or whatever brush you have, use it. Okay. Don't touch inside the shapes which we have done for the reflections. Okay. So around the shapes you need to apply the water. First you see what I'm doing. Afterwards I'll show. You will miss this step. Seeing violet is not necessary this. Like this. Okay. So here also don't apply on the corals part. Above the corals only water should be applied. The spaces which we have left while drawing the corals, there and all water should be applied. Okay. And here, apply like this, in spaces. Now, what I'll do, I'll take blue color. I'm taking blue color. See, this is blue color. Need more water so that it will flow by itself. So here, what happens after water application? You should not wait. If you wait, what will it will do? Paper, it will absorb the water. Immediately, it will absorb the water. So you should move your brush with this. Little color, more water. You need to move the color completely. You can do layering method. So you need not to be worried if it is light. Okay. You can leave the white spaces while painting also. And here comes now like this. Under the tortoise, you can't see the reflections of the light. So you can make it little dark. Under the tortoise, light reflection won't be there. So make it dark. Now you can use the layering method. So for layering method, what I'm doing, I'm using Verde on Flu, that is the green color or ultramarine green, which I got by mixing the blue and green. It should not convert into the teal color, okay? Here also should not fall. Take time to paint, okay? So one by one you need to do it. That is the pen in water. So in other mediums you can take time, but this is the medium where your hand coordination should be more. If you miss, then you can't imagine the. Okay, do it everyone. Then take white color. Now you can just sprinkle white. So that any sharp edges are there or any sharpness will happen, that and all will get be covered. Thanks. So now I am moving to the brown part where I'll use blue color. And you can use the Payne's gray. Little bit of Payne's gray you can use the brown part. But to show the reflections in the brown part, gray color we can use because there will be shadow of the tortoise as well the reflection of the sun. So both will be there. Now we can paint the tortoise. More than this, darkness you should not do as watercolors or the lighter colors. Okay, if you make darker value, the output will be little different. Okay, when it completely dry, it will become too light. Okay, we need the medium values so that only we use the medium lighters. Okay, now use brush number 1 for painting the tortoise. I am going to take brown color. So if everyone are ready, then we will start painting the tortoise. Okay. So why we have not painted first tortoise? Because tortoise will be in brown color, darker color, and we use lighter color for the water. Okay. First, if we paint darker color, after that, if we paint lighter color, there is a chance that they both will get mixed up. Okay. So to avoid that thing, we painted with the lighter value. Okay. So if you have completed, let me know. Completed? Okay. Now, completed everyone? Now I will start painting the tortoise where you are going to take brown color. Okay. We'll be taking dark light brown as well the dark brown. That is, we'll take burnt sienna and burnt umber. Two colors we'll take for painting the tortoise as well the green, yellow mixed green. Okay. These colors we'll take for painting the tortoise. First take light brown. Take light brown. This. You should not paint completely. Remember, you should give the very lighter layer like this. Don't paint completely so that only we have taken brush number 1. Why we have taken brush number 1? To get the control over the paint. Okay. That is light brown. I'm leaving white spaces. Okay. And I'm painting in the downward direction. Yes. Okay. Now take light brown for the next part. So first we'll start with lighter value only. So that only we have taken light brown. This is brush number 1. Or you can take brush number 0. Downwards I am giving the strokes. Mhm. So when it is inside the water, okay, the color will be little lighter compared when it is come out of the water. Okay. So inside the water, you can see the reflection of the light or reflection of the water. According to that, its shell color will be different. Now I am going to use yellowish green. Yellowish green is nothing but mix of yellow and green. So you will get yellowish green. So wherever I let the spaces, there I will add the green color, yellowish green color like this. On the shell also you need to make the reflection, white color reflection as well as the dark values. So when we are doing the water part, we moved our brush very fast. When we are doing the tortoise part, we should move it very slow. Okay. Now I am taking dark brown, that is burnt umber. Burnt umber, we give dark brown color. So light brown, that is burnt sienna is the base color for the tortoise shell, and dark brown is the upper color of the tortoise shell. Okay. So if you don't give the darker values, then it will look flat. Even though it is in watercolors, it should look, we need to add the volumes. Okay. Volume you need to add. So how will be adding volume? By using the darker values. Okay, remember whatever painting you take, okay, whatever it might be, whatever art you will take, there you can find this volume structures. Volume structure involves adding of light values as well darker values. Now I am adding very light gray. This is space gray. So in the reference image, you can see the white values. Actually, white values won't be there because once it is inside the water, how can it will have white values, right? So some color will be there. Okay, so to show that color, we always use in watercolor painting grays, plain grays, plain blue. Now down part, stomach part. So we'll be using greenish yellow. Actually, it will be like yellow only. So we will use very light greenish yellow. No need to leave white spaces. Down part you can make it greenish yellow like this. And you can mix brown and white. Light brown and white. So this layer should be done one by one at a time. Okay, you should not give time to dry. If you give time to dry, then it won't blend properly and the result will be different. Maybe. So like flesh thin color I have prepared with the brown and brown, light brown in the sense burnt sienna. With the help of burnt sienna, I've done the color burnt sienna and white. Now I'll take brown. I'll apply like this. Light brown. Okay. Now you need to use dark brown Give the fine lines like this. We have given some designs. Yes. Okay. And then take gray color or dark blue, little white space in the color. Okay. The same gray color. So I said no, there won't be any whiter part, whiter values. So we need to apply very light value of the gray. Direct white won't be there because it is already there in the water. Okay. So there might be reflection or there might be any shadows. So there won't be any darker value. Sorry, light value. White color won't be there. Okay. So eyes, around the eyes, you should add very light value of the gray. The gray is very important. This is space gray. Okay. Now use dark blue. See, this is we have different types of blue. Pale gray or you can use indigo color blue. So if you have, okay, we have different types of blue. One is sky blue, ultramarine blue, ocean blue, violet will be there, and indigo color will be there. Pale gray sometimes we don't get. Instead of that, you can use indigo color also in a lighter form. Okay, just one dot of indigo color you need to take to the color plate and mix with more water. Okay, understood. So now I am taking dark blue. Dark blue in the sense Persian blue. I'll take Persian blue to make it nose, to make the nose. And its mouth. They should be dark. Okay, that should be dark. Now around this neck head part, we need to. So patches, I don't know where you made. If it is say patches, not a problem. Once it dried completely, afterwards you can give a water wash, slow water wash, so that the patches will get covered. Okay, not a problem. Continue. It will look like patches, but once it is dried, you need to wait for 1 day minimum to see the result. Okay, a simple line you need to make like this. Okay. Now again I am taking Payne's gray. Wherever the white spaces are there, wherever I left like a Payne's gray. Light the value of the Payne's gray, not dark. Only the water, little bit of Payne's gray, and very little. Don't rub or don't scribble. If you scribble, what happened? All colors will get mixed up. Okay. That the white color shine should be there as well as the colors are also should be identified. Okay. Now I'll take brown, burnt umber. I'll give brown here. Fine line with the brown. In some places, brush should move slowly. In some places, it should move quick. Quick stroke should be there. Okay. Now for the legs, I'll use light green and mix of yellow. Then little bit of Payne's gray. Here it should be dark. Yes. Then you need to move the brush in circular motion so that application will be easy. Okay. Now I am using light brown. Oh, till here everyone do. Still we need to do the layering work. Okay. So layering work is there on the shell part. We have to do. So I've left this part because it has to dry properly. So do it everyone. Once it is finished, let me know. Okay. Now take dark brown. Take dark brown that is burnt umber and add the spots with burnt umber like this. Very little spots. Okay. Now I'm adding the spots which we have drawn here. First I'll add like this. Okay. And then the smaller spots we have marked with the pencil, right? That spots we need to paint with burnt umber, dark brown. what I'm doing, I'm taking the gray color slowly and apply very light in the white spaces. And also, I'll take gray color, Payne's gray. At the skin tones. Skin foldings. Now take the Payne's gray only for the lines. Very fine lines will be required. Okay. Now take brown color, gold bookwork, whenever the designs we have done dots there and all you need to give the burnt timber and then keep it like that. So it should dry properly. Then only we can apply the gray color. Okay. So in the white spaces. So white space directly you should not leave. Again I'm telling that white spaces directly you should not leave. You should leave some of the other lighter colors. Okay, but white should be visible. It should be visible, then you should not leave the white space directly. Like this. Okay, so this part it should be with light green. Mix yellow and green. Like this. And then you can add the brown and white color. This tint color. How we will get tint? In the tint we will be usually using three colors. But for animals, we can use one color. Two colors. Brown and white. Okay. So here also I'll little bit increase the color part. Okay. Now I'll be doing this here like that. So this is the tortoise part. Now we will do the corals. So if you have completed, let me know. Completed? Everyone? Completed? Everyone should be active. Be active. If you have completed, let me know. Type yes in the chat. Completed or you won't type. Okay. Now near to the neck Just add the darker value one near to the shell. So you need to know where to stop the coloring layers. Okay. If you keep on adding the layers, that is also not give the good values. Now I'm taking orange color for the coral part. So first down part I'll be doing the darker value. Then I'll clean the brush. I'll pull the color. I need lighter color in the upwards. Fingers. Orange color. Take orange color for coral. Take orange color. Yes. So few should be dark and few should be light. Okay. Yeah. Once you finish the artwork, you need to share it to my WhatsApp number by mentioning your name. Okay. So red coral. I'll add little bit of red. This red is called Scarlet Lake. I'm using the Scarlet Lake. If you know the name of the color, use Scarlet Lake. If you are not able to understand what is Scarlet Lake, use red color. Okay. One will be pinkish red, one will be red. So use that red color. Okay. The name is Scarlet Lake. Now I am taking yellow color and I'll mix it with orange. So in the water, one will be yellowish green will be visible. This is also some type of corals only, but in a different color value ratio. See, I am holding the brush in the form of pencil only. Okay. I am not holding freehand only. I am not using freehand holding technique. I am holding in the form of pencil. If you don't have yellowish green, mix yellow and green. Mix yellow and green. So now I am applying pink. Applying pink. So to the pink, mix it with white. Use white color. It should look like somewhat baby pink, and little bit of orange, orange and pink, orangish pink. So if you want the names, then it will be Crimson Lake. For pink, pinkish red, Crimson Lake I'm using. If you want the name, color name. Okay. If you don't know what is crimson, use pinkish red. Okay. Pinky color. Pink or rose color. You can see rose color also. The same colors I'll use on the right side too. First I'll take orange. What I did first, I had filled colors in the color mixing plate, then smoothly and apply the colors wherever needed. So I'm using controlled technique, that is wet on dry technique. In the dry surface only, I'm adding the colors. If you can see the water part, I have used wet first. First I did paper, wet, afterwards I have added the color. Okay. Now I'm using red color. And you need to, while applying colors, you need to make sure some or the other part you need to leave the white space. Okay, that white space will add the highlight when it get dry. Okay. Now I am going to add pink colors, darker value of the pink. If approximate shape. Okay. No need to get the exact shape for the corals because this will be moving inside the water. Okay, so we can't give any exact colors, exact shape. We can make it look like corals are present. And white spaces, if you leave, then that is any. Now I am giving little bit of Payne's gray under here, this part. So it got mixed up with the pink. And then this part, this is the sea, undersea mushroom. Okay, undersea mushroom like structure. Now for that I'll add orange color. So here I'll be adding. It will look like plate like structure. Okay. Under the plate like structure, you need to add the darker value. Then again like a one. To show the difference, okay? To show the difference, you will be doing like this. And then done. So you need to understand the colors. In which space, in which part we should add the darker value. And why we are adding the darker value. Okay, that you need to understand. Now I will be taking dark blue and I'll mix it with gray color. Okay, here I'll add few seaweed like structures. I'll take gray directly. We want seaweed like structures in between the corals. Should be dark. Okay. And very lightly I'm applying the water. Okay. Now I'll take brush number 2 and I'm using light blue, sky blue. I have shown the sky blue. This is the sky blue. I'll take sky blue and I'll apply sky blue first for the hill-like structure on both the sides. So this is lighter value. Now you need to take the Persian blue, make it the darker value. Few parts of the ocean, the light won't reach. Okay. So if you add darker blue, also not a problem. Finally, what I will do? Add water. Yes. Inside the ocean also it is said that there will be some hill-like structures. Okay, not only on the earth, inside the ocean we will get the hill-like structures. Okay, you can simply add the hill-like structures. And with the water, you can pull the color down. See, you should not rub. If you rub, then all colors will get mixed up. Okay, so very lightly you need to move the color around the coral. Okay, so that the color won't get mixed up. Now here I am going to blend little bit. So for blending what I'll do, I'll add water. So under the tortoise, there will be darker value only. So I'll add water completely. I'll add little bit of blue color so that the color will get blend properly. I don't want this sharp lines to be visible, as well as the depth should be visible. Sharp lines I don't want to be visible and depth should be visible. Okay. Near the moon color. So final thing, that is with the white color, what you can do, just sprinkle white like this. Won't be visible, but it will give the blob structures once it dry. Okay. And then take gray color. You need to add the darker values. You can leave it like the rough structure. Okay, sometimes rough values will also be visible, or you can make the smooth like structure, which I am showing in this. So this is the thing. Okay. So if you have completed, you just share your artwork to my WhatsApp number by mentioning your name. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any questions, you can ask, or we can take leave for this class. Do you have any questions? No question. Everything is clear. Only the thing which I suggest is when you are doing layering work, you need to do it. Your brush stroke should move very fast. Okay. If you are moving very slow, then the layer won't be applied properly. Okay. So make sure your strokes are moving and fast. For that, what you should do, you should regularly practice. Only in one class you won't get to practice. Okay? Just refining the things here. While removing the tape, you need to remove it slowly so that it will get there. Mm. Plus, you need to remove. Even the tape is also very important. Okay. Bye bye everyone. Share your artworks. Hope you enjoyed this workshop and you have learned concepts and application. You also know, hope you have known about the materials. Okay. So you need to now what you should do? You should practice. Okay. Practice more. Practice different types of arts. Practice more. Then only you will be able to do the watercolor painting. Bye bye everyone.